movie will be graded by a letter like we used to be graded in elementary school.
Now, I give this movie a solid B. Sex and the City 2.
Hey, I like that. I'm kidding, I didn't like that at all.
Good.
In the Theater with J and K.
We're back.
I'm Kevin Murphy.
And I'm Jesse Dahlster, and believe it or not, it has been 5 years since the first episode of In the Theater with J and K. In the Theater with J and K. I came first.
Yeah.
Anyways, here we are, the thing that nobody wanted, and yet we're still doing it.
Yeah.
So, in case people have forgotten, we will be talking about movies,
But not 4.
but quite a few of them. And each movie that we talk about will be given a grade like we used to be graded in elementary school.
The grades range from an A to an F.
Correct.
You want to go? Shall we go over how the grades work, or?
I think people have went through school. They know how to
Yeah, I
grade.
think most people are smart enough to know.
Anyway,
Well, I am thinking of giving at least one of our movies the new grade, the Super F.
Okay. Anyways, as you can see, I'm a little bit more subdued. And that's because I took horse tranquilizers today because I didn't want to do this. But anyways, also, I realize that this is probably a little bit different for some people because it used to be that you would just hear this voice.
On the
Now.
review.
You have to see this face. So I need to warn you, I'm a little fat. Just saying, that's the way it is. Let's move on. Kevin's also kind of odd looking. So
I agree.
we're okay.
I'm no basket of fruit.
Well, fruit, maybe fruit. Because,
Fresh fruit.
anyways. Yes, so it's been a while since we've even talked to one another, so
Yeah.
we'll just get back into the format. We'll move on. No, but this movie list is the weirdest list ever. We're doing movies from 2015. We're jumping just movies we haven't covered, movies that we wanted to cover. So let's get to it. Jurassic World. After 10 years of operation, visitor rates are declining. And in order to fulfill a corporate mandate, a new attraction is created to re-spark visitors' interest. But that backfires horribly. Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard star, but really, at the end of the day, it's all about the dinosaurs.
Damn straight.
So what do you think of this movie, Kevin?
Well, I didn't think it was spectacular, and for me, the stuff that was, I don't want to say this movie was bad or awful, but I thought it was kind of lame.
Why was it lame?
For me, okay,
You're lame. Hey, no, you're lame.
I'm lame.
Okay.
But basically,
Lame duck.
I thought it started really good, and I thought it
I thought the
ended
beginning was horrible.
I thought the beginning was okay.
No. It ended.
Not to give the ending away, although I'm sure, considering the money this film has made, everyone's seen it. The ending...
I saw it 3 times in theaters.
The ending was, probably for me, the best part of the whole film. When the mother goes on... This was uncensored, by the way.
We haven't decided. We might put bleeps. I don't know. You work for yourself. I'm building a name. Might put bleeps. We'll figure it out.
But, as the nostalgia critic puts it, the mother...
Another bleep.
When she takes on the...
More editing work for us.
When the bad dinosaur... It is by far... Okay, the effects for me... They're not any much more of an improvement over the original film. But they're still better than King Kong, as you pointed out.
The final battle between the T-Rex and the Indominus Rex, which is actually amazing, and it's everything that Godzilla should have been. It was really good. As you said, is amazing. The issue is the fact that the CG, there's too much CG, and everybody has talked about this. The best scene in the movie, The most emotional scene in the movie is when the Apatosaur, Brachiosaur, Brontosaur, don't know which one that wasn't the Brachiosaur from the first movie, is dying. And yes, you can see it on the Blu-ray, but you can tell in the movie that that is an actual physical robotic dinosaur made by Legacy Effects, which is the effects studio after Stan Winston died.
Mm-hmm.
And it is the best scene. Jurassic Park relied very heavily on animatronics, so did The Lost World, and so did Jurassic Park 3. And they by far had better integration between like CG dinosaurs and physical dinosaurs. And when I first saw the movie, they had mentioned the fact that there was going to be practical dinosaurs. So I was looking. And then as the movie was released, they said the only practical dinosaur was the Apatosaur. So the first time I saw it, I was looking at it and I was thinking, maybe that one's a practical one. There's lots of close-up effects of the raptors, and the close-ups in certain light
They look decent.
do look really good, so I'm thinking maybe. And then the second time I saw it, I thought, I think I know what they did. They didn't like the animatronics, so they painted over with CG, and then by the third time I'm like, this is all CG except for the Apatosaur scene, which is fine. I enjoyed it. It did a lot of things, and that girl that dies with the pterodactyls, the flying dinosaur.
Okay, yeah, the pterodactyls are technically not dinosaurs.
Yes, I know that.
But yeah, I'll admit. Basically, that middle scene when the
First
when the
female death in the Jurassic Park series.
You're right.
And it was probably...
Not counting dinosaurs.
That's true. But first human female death in the series, and it was...
All right,
amazing.
I'll go over a few things in this movie I didn't like. Like this should come as no shock to anyone, but the human characters for me are still very... They're still very wooden. They're still boring.
I hear for the sequel they're going to bring Jeff Goldblum back. Because he's getting his return to the screen with the Independence Day sequel.
Well, you see, with that, I don't know why I'm talking like Jeff Goldblum right
Because
now.
you sound not like Jeff Goldblum. You sound like
Thank you very
somebody
much.
who's having an epileptic shock seizure with a... We're not on the radio. I might edit that one. Anyways,
But
what
anyway,
else didn't you like?
Anyway, well, yeah, it's just that, like, the
By the way, none of these movies that we've seen have we seen at the Seaway Mall Cineplex. Thank you. They're still paying me.
Basically, with, what I didn't like, there's the subplot, like, oh, how sad the parents are getting divorced.
Which was dumb, it went nowhere. And at the beginning of the movie set at Christmas. They're playing Christmas music in the background, but their setting doesn't make sense. As they're driving, it's the very subtle, it's like the Frank Sinatra song, like...
Let It Snow?
Beginning to, or, you know, I think it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, I don't know. And then the airport, same thing. But then when they bring out the Indominus Rex and they say it's opening in May, they also say it's only a few short weeks away. So apparently,
Make up your minds, folks!
in 2015, we're supposed to be celebrating Christmas in April, which, based on the amount of snow we have, couldn't make sense.
Yeah.
Anyways, continue.
But, like I said, probably the one character that really bugged me the most was this guy that was trying to turn the Raptors into his own, like, little army to use for the
Vincent
government.
D'Onofrio.
He was so... Like, he's basically an early 80s or 90s bad guy. He's like the bad guy from... The bad teacher from The Karate Kid, only he's not funny.
Well, I think, and they are unfortunately going to go with that in the series. I know that's where they're headed. But I think it's not the worst thing in the world.
Oh no, and even among the Jurassic Park movies, like that whole ending sequence, that's great. I mean, but all the stuff like the talking, the conflicts, the human stuff, it just doesn't seem very selfie.
Good promotional material.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel very Jurassic. All right, it feels like Jurassic Park, but when they focus on the dinosaurs, that's cool. And I'm just asking myself, I'm sorry I'm going back and forth, but people are not interested in dinosaurs anymore. How is that possible?
Well, obviously they still are. This movie made $1 billion friggin' dollars.
No, I mean the characters in the movie. They're like, people aren't interested in dinosaurs anymore. How?
Well,
I mean, would they rather watch cat videos on YouTube?
like, I mean, I guess to a certain extent, at some point the novelty would wear off because they are just animals. I, personally, if they announced that a Jurassic World was opening, I wouldn't go until after it's been functioning for 10 years.
Yeah.
Because, let's face it, these movies have shown that if it doesn't
Dinosaurs.
get off the ground before it opens, and if it closes, like, I mean, you gotta give it some time. But no, I think eventually, if you go enough, they would lose their luster. But I read an article about how expensive it would be to go. And it's not like these people are going every weekend, because it's like $10,000 a pop. So when you go, you're gonna like it. It's not Disneyland.
No. So, continue.
I think that for all of its flaws, we had a year of, like, I mean, another thing, it really follows beat for beat Jurassic Park.
Yeah, it feels like it's Jurassic Park. I do think
Another movie that we're talking about later kind of follows beat for beat as compared to.
For me, I think
It's true.
like the ending fight is awesome, and that's enough. That's worth a lot of points.
Especially in 3D. We saw
Especially in
the
3D.
The first time,
Gotta admit, it's great in 3D.
it's the only time I've actively wanted to see a movie in 3D, and the first out of the 3 times I saw it in 3D, and it was wonderful.
And like when the pterodactyls get loose, that's cool too. When they show the park opening, that's cool. But I think all the human stuff.
Jimmy Buffett makes a cameo.
All right, he does,
The 2 margarita guy.
and so does Jimmy Fallon.
I know. I have the margarita glasses that he was holding.
But anyway, because I think they put too much focus on the human. I gotta give this movie a C+.
You realize every
That-
time you swear, we gotta watch this in real time to find who's swearing.
Sorry.
Ay.
You realize we're both gonna get mad at what of the movies we're gonna be talking about.
Yeah, I know.
But
Anyways.
I gotta give this movie. It just gets a C+ for me.
A C plus?
C+. I mean, if they put more focus on more awesome T-Rex stuff, more awesome dinosaur stuff than less human bullcrap stuff, I would give it probably a B, but for me it's a C+ movie.
I think that you corrected yourself saying more dinosaur stuff. I think the T-Rex was perfect because she got her triumphant return. It's the same T-Rex from the first movie.
Actually, one thing I really liked was when she appears, she smashes right through the skeleton of a Spinosaurus. It's only for a brief second, but I was like, that is justice served right.
Yes. But I think you can tell what the creators were doing when they decided to make it human-centric. The divorce subplot goes nowhere, and it doesn't need to exist.
Even Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard's relationship, I don't feel like it. You can cut that out of the whole movie.
Yeah, but actually, I read that him kissing her after she saves him, he totally. I'm having conversations with our camera person too. I'm not an on-camera guy. I'm a behind-the-camera guy. Dulster videography and photography. See
KD
all
Me-
Cineplex. Oh, and KD Media, Kevin David Murphy, KDM, and then E at the end. That's clever.
Thank you.
It's the best thing that's come out of that head since Irish Spring.
And I'm based up in Owen Sound, Ontario.
And I'm in St. Catharines, but we travel far and wide to tell your story.
And so what grade?
But fantastic. It's not perfect, so I'm just going to give it a solid A on the fact that it is the only movie I've seen in theaters 3 times, so there was enough draw to get me to come back.
Okay.
So,
Shall we get on to our next movie now?
unfortunately, but yeah.